And here is the Artist's Almanac for January 20th, 2018. It's the birthday of film director and screenwriter Federico Fellini, born on this day in 1920 in Rimini, Italy. Fellini's most notable works include La Strada, Satyricon, and perhaps his seminal work, La Dolce Vita, the story of a journalist, Marcello, searching for a meaningful life and having to choose between a life of excess and fame and literary fulfillment. The film's originality is in its so-called aesthetic of disparity, abandoning traditional plot, character development, and unnecessary explanations in favor of his Dante-esque pilgrim Marcello and his encounters with an underworld of 120 characters. The late, great Roger Ebert considered La Dolce Vita as Fellini's best film, as well as his favorite film of all time. He had this to say: "Movies do not change, but their viewers do. When I saw La Dolce Vita in 1960, I was an adolescent for whom the sweet life represented everything I dreamed of. Sin, exotic European glamour, the weary romance of the cynical newspaperman. When I saw it again around 1970, I was living in a version of Marcello's world. Chicago's North Avenue was not the Via Veneto, but at 3 a.m. the denizens were just as colorful, and I was about Marcello's age. When I saw the movie around 1980, Marcello was the same age, but I was 10 years older, had stopped drinking, and saw him not as a role model but as a victim, condemned to an endless search for happiness that could never be found, not that way. By 1991, when I analyzed the film a frame at a time at the University of Colorado, Marcello seemed younger still, and while I had once admired and then criticized him, now I pitied and loved him. And when I saw the movie right after Mastroianni died, I thought that Fellini and Marcello had taken a moment of discovery and made it immortal. Do yourself a favor and see it if you haven't already. The undisputed master of modernist cinema, Federico Fellini, died at the age of 73 in Rome, Italy. From one of the most important filmmakers of one era to the next, it's also the birthday of American director, screenwriter, and artist David Lynch, born in 1946. David Lynch studied art before experimenting with film in the late 60s. In 1977, his first feature, Eraserhead, made its debut, going on to become a cult classic. Lynch garnered mainstream success with the Academy Award-nominated Elephant Man in 1980, Dune in 1984, and Blue Velvet in 1986. Very much like Fellini, recurring dreamlight imagery and dream motifs define the structure of much of Lynch's work, often relying on the subconscious to provide visual drive. John Merrick's dream of his mother in The Elephant Man, Agent Cooper's dreams of the Red Room in Twin Peaks, and in the dreamlike narrative in Eraserhead, Mulholland Drive, and Inland Empire. Lynch has said that waking dreams are the ones that are important, the ones that come when I'm quietly sitting in a chair, letting my mind wander. When you sleep, you don't control your dream. I like to dive into a dream world that I've made or discovered, a world I choose. You can't really get others to experience it, but right there is the power of cinema. At the age of 72, Lynch continues to produce work of extraordinary craft with his revival of Twin Peaks, and there's no end in sight. Happy birthday, Mr. Lynch. Since it's movie day on the Artist's Almanac, I picked a quote from one of my favorite movies, about movies.
Mac, you ever seen a movie called Sullivan's Travels?
No.
That's part of your problem, you know. You haven't seen enough movies. All of life's riddles are answered in the movies.
Thanks for listening. Be kind, do good work, and until next time.